Hello, good evening, all of you. Yes, Bhawanjali ma'am, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Hi.
Hi. Hello. Good evening, sir. Saxena sir is also with us. Hello. Start करें
Probably
ma'am?
he's on mute. Yeah, we
Good
can start.
evening, sir.
Good evening, all of you. Welcome to the SAGE Talk organized by the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, SRTS, the SAGE group. I welcome you all in this SAGE Talk, and I especially welcome and thanks Dr. BP Saxena sir. He is with us, and he is joined the session. So before starting our today's session, I would like to share one small video of our SAGE group. So please, I request Indu ma'am to share the video of our SAGE group. Indu
Sure,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Thank you, Indu ma'am.
Please continue.
Hello. I request all the participants kindly mute your mic, and I welcome our today's speaker, Bhawanjali Saxena ma'am. She is currently working as a product owner in Hexaware Technologies Pune. She has more than 7 years of experience in product management in IT and have played different roles such as product manager, product owner, and business analyst in domains such as banking and finance, e-commerce, and legal for various companies like Cognizant, Walters, Clover, and Hexaware. She is certified in pragmatic marketing for a product manager from New York, USA. She has done Master MTech in Biomedical Engineering from VIT Vellore and was bronze medalist with 9.2 CGPA. As a part of Masters, she was visiting scholar in Colorado State University, Colorado, USA, and have published papers on nanotubes and on the research conducted. In addition to this, she has a two IEEE papers published on machine learning, which was presented in IEEE conference and Singapore. Apart from this technical detail, I also want to mention that she is a trained classical Kathak dancer who always loved traveling. And one special thing also, she is a daughter of our beloved Dr. VP Saxena sir. So I welcome on Dr. Miss Bhawanjali Saxena ma'am for this sage talk. Ma'am, please. Hello, Bhawanjali ma'am.
Sorry, I was on mute. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, hi all. So this is Bhavanjali, and there are certain people in this group I'm sure I already know. For example, Meenal ma'am, I could see a video. Hi, Meenal ma'am. She's there. I worked with her before, and I'm sure there are other people as well there in this meeting. I worked before with them when I was working in SIRT. So, without wasting one of our time, so let me just quickly walk through, about our talk, what we are going to do, and it's going to be a very exciting journey for all of us. Yeah, and I think as ma'am requested, let's all mute our mic because if you want to really get something out of this talk, I would really request everyone to mute their mics. Thank you. And also, I would stop my video if that's fine, ma'am. I'm stopping my video if that's fine. Okay, great.
No problem.
Okay, so when I click on this share screen, let me share my screen. Let me see. Ma'am, can you see my screen?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So today I know that there are certain students as well, and then there's a mix of audience, including professors, students, and probably product aspirants as well. So so I would walk you through this exciting part of information technology, which talks about product management. So information technology is not just about coding, about Java or about C++. It has more intricacies into it, and probably I'll just run through that. Through a field called as product management, and how do we launch a product, and what are the steps involved in launching a product. Um, okay, so this is the slide, an introduction slide, which tells you what would be covered as part of the talk which we are going to have. Okay. Now, what is product? So it's so by definition, if I say it's an object, it's a system made available for consumer use. It is anything that can be offered to a market to satisfy the desire or need of a customer. So to satisfy the desire or need of a customer, this is the term I would be using throughout my talk, because the product is all about in about sticking to your customer needs, right? When I say product, a product could be a manufacturing product, just like your, probably chair or your bed or you're sitting on, or probably it could be any, manufacturing product such as your car. But the product which we are going to talk about here in this talk would be the digital products. When I say digital products, it involves the apps which are there in your mobile apps which you're using. So apps like Netflix, Twitter, Facebook, all of those apps. So yes, we are going to talk about digital products here, not the manufacturing ones. When I say when we talk about product, there are certain features to it. So those features, as is being displayed here, a product needs to be relevant. When I say a product needs to be relevant, it means a product should be again adhere to your customer needs, right? A product needs to be communicated. That means whatever your product is, that should be marketed well, so that your customers know how to use a feature in a product. A product needs a name. Obviously a product definitely needs a name, and a product should be adaptable. So when I say that adaptable, or so it means a flexibility, right? So even if it's your phone, or even if it's any of those apps you're using, you would see an update in those apps, right? Those update would have certain UI features, and it would have certain other features as well. So it should be flexible enough to incorporate those updates as and when. Okay, so this is a slide from where the journey of a product starts. Now, what's the first step in this product journey? So the first step is nothing but a problem statement. I'm not just going to run through what is being written here. So what problem statement is, or it can be also said as opportunity statement. Now, problem statement is the problem which you're solving for your customer. So I would probably give an example. So for example, there is a Mr. X living in your building, and he has recently shifted. Say he lives in my building, as he recently shifted from Bhopal to Pune, and his somehow his fan is not working. He's looking for electricians. He's not getting. Obviously, he's new to the city. He doesn't know anyone. It's his second day. So he's definitely having problem in calling the electrician and fixing his fan. So there's then Mr. Y, who has, so there is one more person again called as Mr. Y, who has issues with his sink,
मकाई
right?
उड़दा
Hello?
भिंडी सब लगाती है.
I would really request everyone to mute their mic. Thank you. So Mr. Y, right? So I was talking about Mr. Y, that he had certain issues in his, sink that needs to get fixed. So he has issues associated with plumbing. Now, what are we doing to solve those issues? So solving these issues could be done by an app. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it. The app is uh, Urban Company or Urban Clap. That was its name earlier, or House Joy. So what you can do is just go to the app, book the slot, get the electrician or plumber, booked from that app. So that those particular apps are actually solving the problem of a customer. So problem statement is nothing but solving the problem of your customer, whatever the problem your customer is facing. So okay, sorry, so I just wanted to talk about one of those features as well. So for example, I'm one of those consumer who uses YouTube a lot, and I'm sure you guys must be using YouTube a lot for videos, for music, you know. So one of the things what I was facing when I was using YouTube was I really wanted to probably plug my earphones, get YouTube played, because there are certain songs which are probably not available in your music app, as in Spotify or Amazon Music. So I was just thinking, cannot why cannot YouTube have something, so that I can just close the YouTube on background and I can just listen to the music. Why can't I do that? So that was one of the problems which I was facing as a customer. And which is luck, unfortunately, YouTube, I'm sure just like me there would be other customers or consumers who were actually facing the same problem with YouTube. So what YouTube did, the YouTube actually got a solution. They said, okay, we'll give you this feature of playing the music or video when your phone is on sleep. We can do that, but you need to pay certain amount for that, and that is when they introduced something called as YouTube Premium. So what I'm just trying to say here is you need to first figure out what your customer is facing as in problem. It could be any problem. So you need to figure out, go to the market and see what are those customers are facing probably, and your consumers could be anyone, right? So you need to search for your problem statement. Okay, once you know what is your problem statement, or what is your problem that needs to be solved for your customer, then comes the idea. So again, the first point we have already covered. We need to know what is your customer pain point. The other points is the differentiation and the competition. Okay, so probably you have certain solution for the problem statement of your customer. Now you have to see how is your solution different from the solution if the solution is already existing, right? And also, do you have any competitors for the same solution? Now, here I would like to give you an example of Big Basket and Grofers. I'm not sure again how many people have used it, but there are two apps which are basically focusing on delivering grocery and vegetables and fruits and so on. So Grofers came in 2011, sorry, 2013, and Big Basket came in 2011. So Big Basket was the first one in the market who started giving the groceries at your doorstep, which initially was not even possible. So it was a game changer because people come to know, oh, now probably I can ask someone to deliver groceries or vegetables or fruits at my doorstep. Now, after that, after 2 years, Grofers came in the market with the same solution of giving the groceries at your doorstep. Now, what did it did different? They did different things. Grofers had this option of having these items only delivered in 2 to 3 days. But Grofers got, they included one feature where you can have your have your groceries delivered in 120 minutes. And they started giving freebies as well. They started giving you bags, they started giving boxes and all of those things. now Now Big Basket, obviously they could see their Grofers competition was going a little further from them. So they changed their whole marketing strategy. So till now what Groffer does is they get grocery items for you, for as you are a consumer, and they get it from different shops, different retailer stores. But what Big Basket did, they started opening their own warehouses, and obviously till now they have their warehouses from there where they deliver you the goods. And then they changed, as I said, they changed the marketing strategy, right? So they obviously they had these warehouses, and then they included a few of the celebrities as well to promote it, and they just did the game changer there. I mean, as in that even the express which Groffer was offering in 120 minutes, they had this feature of when I say they, as in Big Basket had this feature of delivering in next 90 minutes. So what I'm just trying to say is it's not even if you come first, there could be other person giving you the same solution, but probably having more features in it. But Big Basket till now, they have obviously as I said, they are a game changer, and it's the success story of a Big Basket, not Grofers, which we talk about. So yes, two different companies can have a same solution for a customer problem, but how they approach it, I think that really matters. The other thing is, okay, so yes, we did talk about differentiation and competition. So if you have an idea, then what you should do is, before even reach when talking about that idea to different people, I would really, really request you if you think that your idea is really new, just patent it so that no one obviously can steal your idea. To be very honest, so just patent it, and once you do that, then probably discuss with your friends, colleagues, family, discuss more on it, and just probably get a solution out of it. Right? That is what is evaluate ideas is. Now we'll talk about customers and personas. Okay, so we did talk about what is the product and about the idea solution. Now, who are we having this product for? Obviously, we are having this product for customers. Customers, as in product management, is something called as personas. Now, what persona is? For example, there is a person, say some XYZ from Bhopal. He or she has an age between a certain range, certain education, locations in Bhopal, job title could be professor, income level could be 50,000 or more, skills could be computer science, responsibilities could be teaching, experience could be 10 plus years. So persona is nothing but a characteristic of a customer, right? What is the job title, as I said? What are the goals? What are the challenges,
Sorry.
likes and dislikes? Okay, so here it says an example of personas, right? So if I see this, if I talk about this, it says about I'm a 72-year-old lady who lives alone. I've been having a hard time getting around lately. With my limited mobility, I have a okay. Okay. So with my limited mobility, I have a hard time getting around in stores. Right. If you just go through it, and I'm not going to go through each one of it. So what I'm probably I'll just give a brief about what this whole talks about. This whole picture talks about. So this says it has something called as goals. The goals talks about that what are the difficulties uh, this person Norma is facing in going to the grocery store. One of the other things which I would really talk about is the frustrations. I'm not sure if you guys are able to see it, but frustration talk about what is the frustration. Frustrations are asking others for help and walking around grocery stores. So so she's really frustrated. Obviously she doesn't want to go to grocery store and get the goods for her. So that is definitely a frustration for her. And then needs to be free from worrying about going to what to eat due to her decreasing mobility and to be delivered healthy foods weekly. So okay, so that's what. So frustrations, as I said, it's she doesn't want to walk to grocery store and get the goods. Needs, as in obviously she needs something to be, obviously the grocery store to be delivered at her doorstep. And if you talk about technology, she's pro in online shopping, she's pro in internet, she's pro in apps and mobility as well. So that means she can have an app. We can have an app for her, which would deliver a grocery items or goods at her doorstep. Nerdy Nina. Let's talk about her. So nerdy Nina with such two goals, which says discovering new books, authors to read. Let me minimize this. Sorry. So
Excuse me, ma'am.
yeah.
Ma'am, tell me, ma'am, what are the advantages and other features for us computer science people?
Okay, so what? So we would have a question session once I complete it. We'll have a question and answer session. Is that fine with you? Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I mute
Yes,
her.
ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we we were talking about nerdy Nina, right? So what are the goals? Discovering new books and authors to read, finding unique stories, cataloging book collection. What are frustrations? Keeping track of different series, forgetting a book launch date, finding space for more books. And again, she's technology, she's good in technology as well. So she is mostly dealing with problems related to books. Obviously, she really doesn't want to miss the launch date. She doesn't want to, she also wants to track different series of books, and also she needs a space as well, because probably she has a lot of books as well. So what I'm just saying is, so the problem in her profile, in her persona, is that she's looking for a solution which would be a booking app, as in book app, sorry, which would be book app. So one of those book apps we have heard is Kindle. So probably we can, so Kindle could be one of those examples which can solve a problem of nerdy Nina.
Excuse me, ma'am. I
Huh?
speak Salita.
Okay. So Sarita, is if it's a
Ma'am.
question,
Please
let's
wait,
Yeah,
have it.
ma'am.
wait. We will do
Ma'am,
the
ma'am.
question answer session at the end of this session. If you have any doubt, please write in the chat box. Don't disturb the session. It is request.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Yes, Bhavanjali ma'am, you can continue.
Yeah. Yeah. Just away. Okay, my slides are not moving in. I'll just stop sharing for a second. Yeah. I'm some. Let me do that. Sorry. Okay. So the next slide is talks about designing and development. So designing and development. Obviously now we know what is our problem statement, what solution we are going to solve for our customers, and then there's a solution to it, which is your idea, and you have researched your idea as well, and you have a solution which probably is different from the solution which is existing in the market, and you know your about your customers as well. The next is the designing and development. So what is designing? So designing as in product design describes the process of imagining, creating, and iterating products that solve user problems or address specific needs in a given market. So so quite honestly, this is the technology part of your product, right? And for this, we could probably have a different session because it's a very big topic in itself. So it talks about UI and UX design. So when you open any of your app, it says probably you can again say open a Netflix. So the Netflix, how it is designed, so that part comes in UI UX, as in when you scroll to different sections of it. So how does it look and appears to your customer? That is designing. And development, obviously, so development has front end coding, and it has a back end coding, and I won't go into deep into it, and this obviously comes in the architecture of the product. And then the last point is, obviously you need to test the product. So that has so testing is definitely the point after development is done, so it could be tested and could be delivered. So when I say testing and validation, so one of the one of the products I want to talk about here is which was is something which I was really impressed with in last few days, and I'm sure this is one of those gaming apps which has been used by so many users now. So the gaming app is Ludo. So quite honestly, I installed this Ludo an year before. So and I'm sure by that time not many people would be using it. I was using it and now and then, but since the lockdown, uh, I could see there are a lot of memes or a lot of funny videos going around. Hello. Okay, so a lot of funny videos, funny memes were circulating around the game Ludo. And why it surprised me, because suddenly it saw a surge of users using that particular app, right? Initially, probably not many people were using it, but because of the lockdown, there were so many users into the app, and not even once that app got crashed. So that means that they are testing a performance testing, a load testing on it by having so many users. So they were basically ready for this number of users on it. So So that was the point. And then they're also very flexible if you see their UI. So for example, last week I think they updated logo, probably something called as made in India. They had a logo, and which was again intuitive for me, because yes, they're updating as well. It's not they're just sitting and just, yeah, so they're doing something out there. So that was very one of those apps which quite honestly impressed me lately with the load testing. Okay, and I'm not sure what's happening here. Okay. So the next is marketing. Now, obviously, you have again, you have your problem statement, you have a solution, you have your customer characteristics, you have developed your app as well. Now, what is next? Next is you need to market your product. So when you say market your product, how can you do that? The first and the important thing for marketing is I would give you example of one of those apps I'm using. I was using and I'm still using. This app is called as Nika. I think it started in 2019, and the UI UX of that app, and even their written policy and everything, their delivery, everything was so intuitive that that obviously myself as a consumer, I did the publicity of it. Obviously, I told to my friends, and my group of friends told to other group of friends. And that particular app, I'm sure obviously they would have different marketing mediums as well, but mouth to mouth publicity did work for them. So now they are a successful product app for cosmetics. So the other point is create a recommendation. Okay, sorry. So this when I talk about mouth to mouth publicity, that comes in the point as a creating a recommendation system. The first is increase your organic visibility. So what it talks about is, for example, you have an app, or again you have a website of yours. So you need so when someone, as in when your user searches for your product, that should come on the first page of Google. That is something which comes in, which is called as search engine optimization. That is SEO. So you need to have your product on the first page of Google. So if your consumer, if your customer is searching for a problem, so your app should be the first one, or should be at least visible on the first page of Google. So you need to, there's also concept of paying Google. If you want your Google to do an ad and display your app on the first section where you can see ads. There is an also provision to pay Google, and probably bring your app in the ad section of the Google. Okay. So the next point is prepare your facts before launching your product. Yeah, prepare your facts, that probably what your consumer could ask you. Just prepare everything, the questionnaire. Don't forget about email marketing. Yes, just do an email marketing. Just circulate emails about your product before the launch. Yeah, customer service is again, which is something which is very important for a product. Again, I would go back to Big Basket. If I have to give a rating for a customer service, I would definitely rate them as first, to be very honest, Big Basket, because usually with a customer service, or probably any other app, it usually takes some time, and they would have their IVR. But Big Basket, you just call them, they'll pick in less than a minute. They'll solve their issues quite quickly without frustrating the customer more. So yeah, so the customer service, you need to have your best customer service. The other thing is the best selling products on social networks. Yeah, you just publicize your products on different social networks. It could be other apps as well. As in when you would have seen ads coming in YouTube, you can just probably place your ads over there. Okay, so this is the last slide, to be very honest, of this talk, which tells about MVP and launch. Now, you have a product, and you got your problem statement, you got a solution out of it. You know how to implement it, your UI, UX designs, everything is done, your marketing is done. Now what next? Obviously, next is the launch. But obviously, I wanted to talk about this term called as MVP. I could have talked about earlier, but I just wanted to place it here. MVP is minimum viable product. Now, I did talk about someone called as Mr. X, right, who was having issues with electricity, and there was Mr. Y who was having electricity with probably who was sorry having issues with plumbing, right? So there is an app like House Joy or Urban Cap company to solve those two problems. But there are other problems as well which they solved, as in but in the why I'm saying why I'm giving the example is because MVP talks about prioritizing features. So I'm not sure if Urban Company has done that, but what we can do and what I can give you an example is, for example, you can see a lot of customer facing electricity or plumbing issues, and probably you included only those two features there in the app, right? And you could see there is a surge of people requesting for electricians or plumbers. So you would probably include only those two features in your product for now. As in when your product is released in the market, and then you get a features of, then you see there's more market problems to solve, as in they need a saloon at home or something like that. So they would include that as well, but before that your product is already launched. So what I'm saying is that you launch a product with minimum features in it, which would be called as a minimal viable product, and as you go on you could include a features when you research your market more extensively, right? So that is something called as minimum viable product. Now we are all ready for launching a product. Now for launching a product, I would really want to give an example of iPhone here. um, so what iPhone does, right? iPhone creates a buzz. So they would be creating a buzz from probably even 2 months or 3 months before. Everyone, even probably even more than that, everyone would be knowing, okay, there's would be an iPhone 11 or sorry 12 or 13 or whatever is coming in the market. And they would create a buzz that in all of those social medias and so many blogs that people will be really excited that what more features or what new features this new iPhone would be giving us. So I think they are very good in creating that buzz, and in very good in launch in a launch, and then they would have a really great launch even. So so I think that is one of those companies which which creates a buzz, which the way that should be actually created. And then they are very they're very innovative. All the innovation I think in mobiles have started from iPhone. I mean, they started with a fingerprinting, they started with a face recognition, and then they started with AirPods and other mobile companies. They followed iPhones. And the other thing was again about iPhone is probably Apple is that there would be certain features which would be there in your Android mobile, and there would be certain features which would be similarly they would be there in your iPhone as well, right? And your probably Android user wouldn't know that that feature is still existing in your mobile, but your Apple user would know. It's because they would as I said, they would communicate. A product needs to be communicated, right? So they would communicate their product so well that their users would know each and every functionality, at least the functionality which they are promoting very well, from the user perspective. So yeah, so if you probably if you want to have some launch, probably create a brush the way Apple does it. I think that's it, and I'm really sorry if I was going so fast. I could sense it, and I'm really sorry for that. Just do let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Bhawanjali ma'am.
Yeah.
Now, if any of you have some query, you can ask. Or you can raise your hand so that I can unmute you, or you can unmute yourself. Hello, everyone. If you have any query.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Kevin from SIS College, Sion.
Okay, fine, Kevin. You can ask your
I
query.
have a question. How can a brand be created or started?
Okay, for how can a brand be created or started? For that, you first of all you need to have a brand, right? For example, and brand comes from your product. So you need to have a product which solves a problem which probably no one has solved, or probably a problem solved in a different way. So you need to have a product like that. And once you that, you do a marketing, as I said, use those points, use different social media to market your product, and obviously have a launch some with a buzzing event probably. And then so branding comes from your product, right? Quite honestly, as I said, Big Basket is a brand now. So all these apps which you are using are a brand now. Amazon itself is a brand now. So you can have your brand from your product. The way you solve your product, it could be a new solution, it could be an existing solution, probably within features better than the other competitors. If that uh, does that answer your query, Kevin?
Yes, ma'am. So, is it necessary to have a product which solves the problem?
It's not necessary, but see, but as I said, you need to have a problem. Solution, okay, we'll think about it later, but let's have a problem. So you definitely need to have a problem so that you can actually go and search for a solution, right? A problem could be a very simple problem as well, but you need to have a solution for it. Then how would you even market yourself, that what are you trying to even do it, right? So you need to have a solution for a problem statement, and then you need to market that as well. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
No problem.
Thank you, Bhawanjali. Anybody other want to ask the question or have any doubt? If you have any query, you can unmute yourself and ask the question. Someone is asking the question in the middle of the session. So if she want to ask the question now, she can.
Hello, ma'am. I speaking Sarita, VTIRT College from Sagar. Ma'am, tell us what is the feature in this us and what advice do we have to give for marketing and customer products?
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, so you want to understand how this is applicable for a student, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
So, okay, so that is so when I started this session, I said that so when I say about information technology, right now I've been into these three different companies and been in more than 7 years. So information technology is not just about coding, right? It's not just about coding Java or C++ or any other language. It also talks about other aspects of it. It also talks about, as I said, product management, which again has a lot of subdivisions in it. It has a division of designing. So if you want, you can if you don't if you think you're something who can design an app for your customer, and you want to go into that field, you can go as a UX or UI designer. And if you think that you are a better coder, then you can probably go into a front end designing, as in sorry, front end developer or a back end developer. So front end developer is something who develops code for your front end, as in your design, again, that is related to design. Back end is a coding that you do for your database. So if you are a coder, you can go into any of those two options. As I said earlier, if you want, you can go into your UX designs as well. Now if you want to go in a product management, which I am there already, you can go into that as well. um, so you just need to have an interest, and you would probably get something which you like in IT. And as I said, IT is not just about coding, it has a lot of things in it. But yes, it's obviously better to have a coding skills in it, because obviously it has a term technology in it. So definitely you should know what Java is, how does the code works, and so on. So but yeah, but other things but that doesn't stop you from just coding. You can try different branches in information technology.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
No
Uh,
problem.
Thanks, ma'am. One more question in chat box from Shilpa. She want to ask, during this COVID-19, which is the best way to do business?
Oh, I would also do it. if I heard the answer. Okay, so okay. So the best way there could be anyways, right? So you can see there's a lot of, I'm not sure what is the situation in Bhopal. So in Pune, yeah, there is a lot of crunch in groceries and all. We are not getting the slots from different apps, which actually I spoke about. So yes, one of those things, if you want, you can probably have something as such as grocery app, one more grocery app, which delivers whenever a customer wants it with everything in stock at this time. And then you can have something to deliver even a mask or sanitizer, so I don't have to go to a medical shop to bring that up. And so yeah, and yeah, so you can do any of those things. And I think one of those example and one of those opportunity, Mukesh Ambani has taken that. He has opened GeoMart just now in this pandemic, and he's a very, I'm sure he has a good business acumen, that he started this GeoMart as an app and as a website to deliver grocery items now, and he started in this pandemic. So I'm sure we can also start something of our own sooner.
Thank you.
Does that answer?
I think you got your answer.
It was Shilpa. Shilpa, thanks for asking an exciting question. Yeah.
I got the answer. Thank you.
Okay, Shilpa. One more question,
Okay.
Bhawanjali ma'am, from a Gokul. Where we have to start if we want to develop a software?
So if you want to develop a software, so this whole PPT or the talk I've shared is actually talks about that, right? So if you want to have a solution, do not go for a solution or do not go for an idea. I would really say go for a problem which is being faced by your customer. Go for that. What your customer is facing. As I said, it could be a very normal problem. It could be, as I said, it could be not, as I said, not able to call an electrician. It could be a simple problem as that. And so they've developed an app through which you can call your electrician or plumber or so on, right? So just try to figure out what are those problems your customer facing. And as I said, it could be very, very simple problem.
Okay, Gokul, I think you got your answer. Okay. Kevin want to ask one more question. Are you there, Kevin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can ask.
Okay, so I wanted to ask that, for example, if I want to make my own brand as a writer or content creator, so what will be its process? Will it be similar to like making the other brands, or will it be a different process?
When you say content writer, do you know what that is?
Yes, ma'am. I guess actually I am a writer and I usually write some poetry and short stories. So I want to try a career or passion in writing.
Okay. 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 So
Yes.
when you, so your question is about sorry, your question is about creating a content and how to make that as branded. Is it right or is it different? Or probably you can ask again. I'm sorry.
Yes, like how can I brand it and get the recognition as a brand if possible?
Okay, so when you say recognition and brand for your poetry, for your content basically, right?
Yes.
Playing
Hello.
somewhere, sorry. Yeah, so yeah, you can create your poetry or short stories, right? So with on starting, what you can do is, obviously you can have it in your different social mediums, right? You can have it on Facebook, and you can have it on, for starting, I'm just saying, for the starting, you can probably market yourself like that. Have it on different mediums, including Facebook, Instagram, even WhatsApp. Have those, and even not, no, not LinkedIn, even so the other three. You can have your these contents written there for starting. Then next step, what you can, when you get certain recognition, what I would ask you to do is start writing blogs. right? And in that blogs, start including your poetry or short stories. So instead of posting it, your poetry and short stories as a whole in these different social mediums, you can actually just post the link of your blog. And if you go, it's not so difficult to create your own blog, to be very honest. It's a very easy step. Just create your own blog, write stories in it, write poetries in it, and then share that as well. But I think I would really suggest you to take it that as an second step. First, I would really ask you to again create a buzz by posting it on your different social mediums. Does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
No problem.
Yes, Bhavanji, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so I have a question for you. Why, if any startup is starting their business, why they target only the urban cities? Why they don't open in small cities like Bhopal, Indore, and Jabalpur? And if you can consider any more like remote areas, why they target only urban cities for opening up any business and testing whether it is working or not over there?
So quite honestly, usually any product, right? It has to be started with set of users. It cannot be open for all the users at once. So what they will do is any product, they would start their business for certain set of users. So that certain set of users are mostly there in the urban cities, right? I mean, they would start within urban cities, hoping that obviously people would be more using the apps and other features related to those apps in those urban cities as compared to probably local ones or the small towns. So once they get a success over these cities, right, and then they go to bigger market or a larger market. And again, I would like to give you an example of Big Basket. They started with Bangalore. They saw their success story there, and then they opened their warehouses in different cities, different metros. And once they got a success story in each of those, and then they went to tier 2 cities, as in Bhopal, Indore. They started opening their warehouses, and now they deliver there as well. So obviously any product needs to first start with certain set of users, and obviously they would try to first start with an urban users, because as again, there's one analytics tool called as Google Analytics, and other tools such as Adobe Analytics. From there, if you could see that there would be more people using mobile or apps in urban cities as compared to local. And the second point, as I said, they would increase their user base gradually and not at once. Does that answer your question? Hello?
Yeah, so yeah, thanks, Bhavanjali. Start using apps, technology in small cities also, so that you will be near to the products.
Right, right. Believe me or not, how much you try to ignore technology, you could not ignore technology. So I would really, really suggest you guys to, especially the students, start using the apps, different apps. And for quite honestly, currently we have app for each and every problem of ours. So start using that, right? Yeah. Any more questions, guys?
Thank you. Anybody want to ask any query? I think all the participants are satisfied now. I think they don't have any query now. So I can see the feedback in the chat box that they appreciate the session. They thanks to
Thank
you for this nice session. So I again want to thanks you, Bhawanjali, on the behalf of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, SIRTS Bhopal, the SAGE group. I want to thank you, and I want to thanks all the participants from outside the Madhya Pradesh also. They joined for this SAGE talk. And here we share one certificate that is a token for the appreciation for you, Bhawanjali ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you all
Thank
of
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
So
you
I would share
for
the
such a
PP.
nice talk and for accepting our invitation. Yes,
No
ma'am.
problem, no problem. Yeah, so I could see people requesting the PPT, Katna, so
Yeah.
I would probably share with you.
Okay. If you want, you can share it with me so that I can share with the participants. Is that okay? If you don't problem.
Sure.
Fine. So can we end this session?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you all the participants. Thanks to director sir for giving this opportunity. Thanks our chairman engineer Sanjeev Agrawal sir for such a nice initiative taken by him, and special thanks to Dr. VP Saxena sir for giving me this opportunity to invite you for this particular SAGE talk. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all of you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you all.